Yeah, all right. So since I can't like, I can't play music because I'm not trying to get this copyrighted. I'm gonna just sing it. Da na na na. Wait, how does the song go again? You can't tell me nothing, right? Da na na na. Wait till I get my money, right? Oh, how does the song go? Wait, let me play the song. Wait, time on. Let me play the song in the background. So, let me. Oh, here it go. Let's go again. La 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 la. Wait till I get my money right. Alright, nigga, I ain't playing no music, nigga. Let's just get to it, bro. Let's just get to it, bro. Alright, so. Alright, so boom. Alright. This rush is busting. Alright. So I understand the NBA rules, but I was asking, you know what? I was asking ChatGPT how I should go about this, and they told me to catch up with the modern styles. I already know the rules of basketball, but I want to understand the play styles though. Should we watch a video on the rules just to understand the rules again? But I know it's attack. I know it's 5 seconds. I know you got to get the ball past the halfway line for 8 seconds. 24-hour shot clock. Offensive 5 seconds. Defensive 5 seconds. Or is it three? I know all these things. God damn, this foot is busting, nigga. So should I just watch like? Should I, man, oh my god. Before we get into anything, y'all niggas gonna watch me pray and watch me eat. Should I cut this out? This is the first episode. Who cares about cutting this out, bro? Y'all gonna see me eat, gang. Let's get cracking, man. Let's get cracking. Everybody like the stream. All five of y'all niggas in here. Or three, or two, or one, or 10. Like the fucking stream. This is a new era. I'm trying something new. I don't see anybody else doing this on YouTube, bro. Everyone else just focus on like I'm hearing myself, right to me myself. But everyone else just focus on one sport or one niche. I don't really see a lot of niggas just handle multiple. And you know why? You know why? Because I think a lot of niggas can't handle multiple. You know what I mean? Sports. It's all right, bro. Like not everybody is me. So this is what I'm gonna be doing. And today we're gonna be catching up with the NBA. So I want to know what videos to watch. So I'm gonna just like find videos to watch, right? I gotta find like NBA channels as well. We're gonna find out as we go. So I want to watch a video on Jokic to understand why people glaze this nigga so much. So we're gonna watch a video on his story, I guess. Probably a documentary, a short doc. Alright, let's start. How would oh yo, y'all can't even see shit. How a chubby kid became an NBA legend. Let me move the HYDRA logo so y'all can see what I'm seeing. Let's get into it. Uh, that's glaze. It still is. Y'all can't even hear what I'm listening to. I had the desktop audio muted. We're gonna start this over again. All right, I haven't Been doing a lot of reaction streams. Blah, 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 blah. Yap, 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 yap. We start though. Okay. We're going to act like that didn't happen. Holy shit. All right. Today, we will be reacting to how Nikola Jokic, aka the chubby kid, became an NBA legend. I want to get back into the NBA. We're live streaming right now on the Jacob Joran live channel. Make sure you stop by and say what's up. Today, we're going to be reacting to Nikola Jokic's story. We're probably also going to get into his stats, some videos on his stats, some videos on his play style. I think this is going to handle his play style a little bit, but more in depth. And I want to get like a general understanding for like the layout of the NBA right now. Which teams are the best teams? Which teams are the super teams if they have any super teams? And the dark horses, all that, yeah. So let's get into it,
bro. Nikola Jokic can't jump over a puddle of water, and yet he's the best player in the NBA. The Joker is the best passing big man in basketball history. He bends the reality of what's possible for a center and is the lowest drafted player to ever become the NBA MVP. This is the story of how the pudgy kid from Serbia became an NBA champion and one of the most unusual superstars in NBA history. Nikola was born in Sombor, Serbia, to a poor family that housed 6 people in a cramped 2-bedroom apartment. But what they lacked in resources, they made up for with a love for basketball. Nikola's 2 older brothers were both talented players, and their father loved basketball more than anything. But Nikola wasn't like them. He was a shy, introverted 10-year-old, short and chubby, and PE was his least favorite class in school. When his dad told him that he signed him up for his first basketball practice, Nikola cried and didn't want to go. He began playing the point guard position, and his coaches quickly realized that this chubby kid was pretty talented. Despite being the slowest kid in every game, Jokic could really play, and he soon fell in love with the game. However, when he was 14 years old, Jokic quit basketball. It wasn't that he didn't enjoy the game, but because he found something he cared for more than basketball: horses.
Actually, I quit playing basketball when I was like 13, 14, and I was here for like 6 months, and then my dad needs to...
Bro, I saw a meme that was trending. Let me know in the comments. Didn't this nigga... Like, there's a meme that was out there that was saying that, like, he likes his horses more than he likes basketball. Let me know, is that true? I don't know if that's true. If that's true, like, that's wholesome. He's allowed to have a life outside of basketball, you freaks. Okay?
I convinced my trainer to put me back in basketball, so...
Nikola would come to the local stables every day after school to clean and feed the noble creatures. However, his father made him return to basketball, saying that he might be able to buy his own stable someday. Jokic played really well in the youth ranks, and this caught the eye of the most influential basketball manager in Europe, Miško Ražnatović. Miško owned his own club called Mega, which he used as a training ground to develop talent, only to sell them later. Ražnatović found out about Jokic through the local newspaper and saw that he was averaging 20 points and 20 rebounds per game.
Damn.
But his first thought was that Jokic was just more athletic than everybody at that level, and that he was dominating because of his physical traits. So when he found out that Jokic was not physically dominant and was actually the least athletic player on the floor, the manager got fired up and demanded that this kid get signed immediately.
Somehow, nobody really paid attention on this guy. This is the first and last player in the 27-year-old history of the agency that we signed him without anybody seeing him.
Without ever seeing him play, Ražnatović signed Jokic on the spot.
So he was a diamond in the rough. Mythical pull. That's a mythical pull right there.
Before or after, but this proved to be the best decision they both ever made. When he moved to Mega, Jokic started playing for their junior team, winning the MVP of the Serbian Youth League, making the first team All-EuroLeague team for juniors, and a silver medal at the Under-19 World Championship.
He always used to
despite being really good, there was a problem. Nikola was too heavy to play professional basketball. Jokic couldn't do a single push-up, and he would get exhausted after the first quarter.
When I first started playing basketball back home in Serbia, Belgrade, I really couldn't do a push-up.
At the age of 17, he appeared in 5 games of the first Serbian league and
Grown-ass
averaged
man,
2
you can't do a
points and
push-up?
2 rebounds in 10 minutes per game. Mega's coaches gave him a nutrition plan, and they were killing him in practice to improve his conditioning, but Jokic barely shed any weight. They knew something wasn't right, and soon they discovered his kryptonite. Nikola was devouring a Serbian pasty called burek, like there was no tomorrow. Burek is very high in calories, and to make things worse, Jokic would wash it down with up to 3 liters of Coca-Cola every day.
This nigga's a real Eastern European nigga, man.
But what Jokic really needed was something healthy and something smart. And that's why what he really needed is today's video sponsor, AG1. And sponsoring today's video. And cheers to a healthier you. The transition from junior to senior basketball is hard for every teenager. But luckily for Nikola, it coincided with the return of his older brother Nemanja from America. Nemanja Jokic played NCAA basketball for Detroit Mercy, and he could have been a professional if he didn't hang out with Darko Milicic. Darko was drafted 2nd overall by the Pistons in the 2003 draft, but he was more famous for his partying and bad behavior than for what he did on the basketball court. Nemanja experienced firsthand what can happen if a basketball player doesn't take basketball seriously. Realizing that his younger brother possessed tremendous talent, he influenced him to stop eating junk food and chugging Coke, and not to make the same mistakes as Darko and himself. However, a key role in the development of Nikola's career was Mega's head coach, Dejan Milojevic. Milojevic realized very early that Jokic possessed court vision like no other player he had ever seen. So he gave Nikola complete freedom on the court. In 2023, it became somewhat normal for 7-footers to bring the ball up the court like a point guard. But in 2013, this was unheard of. Jokic had the luxury to handle the ball and not care about making mistakes, something that American centers his age could only dream of. Jokic showed not only an exceptional
So he was ahead of his time.
Footwork and ball handling, but also an approach to the
His
game
number
that
was
is
always
rarely
15,
seen
that's
in a
tough.
19-year-old. Boyishly playful, without any concern in the world, almost nonchalantly dishing out no-look passes like Magic Johnson.
It's about teammates, you know. When I open, I score. When I pass, you know, play basketball. Just play simple.
From his eye.
You know?
In the 2013-14 season, the coach's effort to improve his conditioning finally gave
messed up
results.
his eye,
Jokic
bro.
appeared in 38 games, averaging 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists in 25 minutes on the court. After that, Raznatovic put his name in the 2014 NBA draft. But despite Jokic's early brilliance, NBA GMs were not overly excited about an unathletic and chubby 18-year-old from Europe. Ultimately, Jokic fell all the way to the 2nd round and 41st overall pick when he was finally selected by the Denver Nuggets. When his name was called, the NBA famously played a Taco Bell commercial during the pick, because who really cares about the 41st pick? But on the other side of the Atlantic, Jokic didn't care either. By the time his name was called, it was about 5 a.m. in Serbia, and Jokic was sound asleep. While most people would...
Yo, this nigga really don't like basketball, bro. Yo. Bro, imagine there's people who are their whole lives, they've been working towards this moment. Bro, they don't care if they're like the last pick, the 55th pick of like what, the 3rd or 2nd round. They're gonna be watching this. Doesn't matter. Bro, when it was his turn, bro, this nigga said, yo, fuck this, bro. I'm going to sleep, nigga. Y'all niggas. Hey man, let me know what's up when I wake up, man. Let me know. I fuck with it.
would be up all night trying to find out which NBA club they'd end up playing for, 0 ducks were given by Jokic. And unlike most drafted players, Jokic wasn't too eager to come to the NBA right away and decided to stay 1 more year in Serbia. Ultimately, his decision proved to be the right one. Despite Mega finishing 10th in the Adriatic League in the 2015 season, Jokic became the league MVP, averaging 16 points, a league-leading 9.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game. After that, it was time for Jokic to take his talents to America. But when he came over to play in the Summer League, Jokic did not excel, averaging 8 points and 6 rebounds in 5 games. The reason was immediately apparent to Denver coaches. No matter how much weight he lost at Mega, he was still not in great shape. So, between the Summer League and the start of the season, Jokic lost 25 pounds in a few months. But there still was one problem for him to showcase his ability. His name was Jusuf Nurkic. Nurkic was a great friend to Nikola, but on the court they were competitors, depriving each other of much-needed playing time. Coach Malone tried to play both of them on the floor at the same time. That was awful, and there simply wasn't room for both of them. After Jokic averaged 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 2.5 assists as a rookie, and made the all-rookie first team, he started his sophomore season.
Jeez, look at that.
And
No
then
look
Denver
pass.
executives decided to keep the 41st pick over the 16th pick and traded Nurkic, as crazy as it seemed at the time. But they were not wrong. In 2017, Jokic improved his numbers to 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists per game, while also finishing top 4 in the league in true shooting efficiency. In 2018, he was even better, finishing the year averaging 18, 11, and 6, becoming the most versatile offensive center in the NBA. Because he spent part of his basketball youth as a point guard, Jokic was not afraid to dribble the ball, even against much faster players, knowing that he had the big body and technique to protect the ball while running through the paint. Jokic rarely turned the ball over, despite making risky passes that would have resulted in turnovers with most other centers. But unlike Draymond Green, who is a good passer for a big man, Jokic is also dangerous as a scorer. Even though he's probably the least vertical player in the NBA, Nikola still kills you with polished footwork, a soft touch, and a series of head feints that drive defenders crazy.
To be honest, I always say I'm playing this way since I started playing basketball.
His lethal arsenal on the
look at his own game.
passing masterclass becomes even more dangerous when you factor in his fantastic face-up game, where he becomes the most unpredictable player in the NBA. If he's facing the basket at the top of the key, there is always a danger that he'll sink a mid-range shot or a floater right in the opponent's face. If the defender gets close to him, Jokic can get past, either backing him down or facing up. And if everything else fails, he'll do his patented Sombor shuffle. Like all great players, Nikola developed a trademark move. And just like Jokic himself, it's extremely weird looking and unorthodox. The Sombor Shuffle is a half step back, half fadeaway that looks like a crooked and clumsy version of Dirk Nowitzki's legendary one-legged shot. But despite the aesthetics, it's extremely effective.
He hit a couple of those right foot joints that he shoot on me, like frustrating as hell. You feel like you've done everything you could possibly do to make him take a bad shot, and it hit nothing but the bottom of the net.
And another thing that flies under the radar with Jokic is how strong he is. When someone has muscles...
if you're telling me the whole time he was heavy, I'm not going to be surprised if he's strong, man. Like, he has a lot of weight. He's a big boy. Move your weight around.
Looks like a strong man. That can be very deceiving. The strength is in the hips, torso, and legs. Nikola is physically stronger than most centers. Others may look stronger, but they are not. Jokic's athletic coach. However, despite Nikola's brilliance that led the Nuggets to a top 5 offensive team in the NBA, their defense was in the bottom 5, and a lot of the blame was on Jokic. His lack of athleticism was even more pronounced by poor stamina, which made him one of the worst defensive centers in the NBA. And despite the Nuggets improving each year and winning 46 games in 2018, they missed the playoffs by 1 game, losing the deciding game of the season against the
I like the Nuggets' new
that would all change
their
soon.
new what you call it? Their new t-shirts, the new outfits team, whatever you call them shits, bro. Forgot the name. I like it though. The new colors are wavy. It's way better than the ones that they had in the Carmelo Anthony era. Way better.
Condition change. It helps me a lot on the floor, I don't get tired that much. I feel stronger.
In the 2019 season, Jokic continued the upward trajectory.
Bro. This nigga genuinely looks insane.
Finishing the year with 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. He made his first All-Star team and first team All-NBA. And the Nuggets finished 2nd in the West, making the playoffs after 6 seasons without an appearance. Denver won their first-round matchup with the Spurs, but they would lose in Game 7 against the Blazers in the second round, despite the Joker averaging a near triple-double. In 2020, Jokic made the All-NBA second team, but the Nuggets regressed, and nobody gave them much chance in the playoffs. And in the NBA bubble, things didn't start well, as Denver was losing 3-1 against Utah in the first round of the playoffs. But largely thanks to Jamal Murray, who got the better of Donovan Mitchell in an offensive duel for the ages, the Nuggets won the series in 7. In the second round against the Clippers, they were in the same hole, again falling behind 3-1 in the series. Then, against all odds, they did it again, made another miraculous comeback, and won another Game 7.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. One thing I will always remember for Jokic is the 2024 season, right? In the second half of the first half of the season, it was in December. We were in what's it called? We was in San Francisco, bro. And we went to the Golden State game because we were there on vacation. And my first ever NBA match was a Jokic game winner. I will always remember that. That's on my, I think my first or second, one of my personal TikTok accounts. I will always remember that. I'll see if we could just add it to the vid. That was crazy. Awesome.
Only 11 different teams in
destiny.
NBA history came back after being down 3-1, and the Nuggets did it twice in the same playoffs. However, in the conference finals, the Lakers were too strong, and the Nuggets lost in 5 games. When the next season started, we noticed a significant change in the Joker's appearance. Usually after the season, he'd relax at home, eat tasty Serbian food, and drink Yalen beer.
Yeah.
But this time, he came back after the summer break noticeably slimmer and didn't have to spend the first 2 months of the season on a diet just to get into basketball shape.
I just wanted to change something, you know. I wanted to see, can I do it? Can I really change my body? And I lost a lot of pounds, and I feel much better, you know.
Because of this, we've seen his game rise from an all-star to the superstar level, and his numbers skyrocketed. Jokic averaged 26, 11, and 8 for the 2021
Yo,
season.
the Nuggets team uniforms are tough, bro. I'm looking at them, I'm like, yo,
Extremely
these shits are
efficiently from
tough.
everywhere on the court. But most people already
Yo,
knew
whenever
that
I
he
used to
was
pick a
offensive wizard,
2K team,
where
I would
Jokic
never
made the
decide
biggest
really
leap
too
was
much
his
on the
defense.
players.
He still
It was
wasn't
always
a
the team
vertical
outfits.
rim protector like Rudy Gobert.
Oh my
Far from
god,
it.
that shit
But
out of
what he
here.
couldn't give the Nuggets with athleticism, he made up for in hustle. His smart positioning and long arms made him a plus defender when protecting the paint. And the Nuggets were 4 points better defensively with Jokic on the court. Because of his newfound conditioning, Jokic was second among all centers in steals, he was fourth in the entire NBA in deflections, and 12th in contested two-point shots. Jokic led the NBA in all the advanced offensive ratings, and because of his improved defense, he deservedly won an MVP award. But because Jamal Murray tore his ACL, Denver got swept in the second round of the playoffs. In 2022, the Nuggets didn't have Murray for the season, and they also lost Michael Porter Jr. after just 9 games. Without 2 of their 3 best players, Jokic almost single-handedly led the team to 48 wins and a playoff berth, with stats that were even better than the previous season. Nikola became the first player in NBA history with 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists in one season, which secured...
Ah, damn! What was I doing when he was doing all this stat pattern?
him a second consecutive MVP award. His backdoor passes, no-look dimes, and touch-and-go volleyball assists became an art form. And when you're talking about the beauty of the assist, there is nobody in the NBA who does it better than
Bro, he's like
And
the
while many
Magic
people believe
Johnson
he
of
couldn't
centers, bro.
improve after that, Jokic surprised the world again.
Because I'm
For
seeing
much
some
of
of
the
the
2020
I'm seeing some of the passes, that wraparound pass across the baseline. Okay, big guy. Okay.
Preseason, he averaged a triple-double, eventually finishing just 12 assists shy of a triple-double season average.
Stuff.
His conditioning is something that nobody can question anymore, as Jokic is regularly outrunning most centers down the floor, usually handling the ball and setting up teammates in transition. But what went under the radar is how efficient Jokic was, and that he had the most efficient shooting season in NBA history.
What?
There have been only 5 players in NBA history with a true shooting percentage over 70% for the season.
Sucks
And
he
while
got
Jokic's
injured.
2023 season is...
Wait, is he injured this season? Is that?
On that list, everybody who is above him on that list is a center whose offensive diet largely consists of dunks, like Rudy Gobert, Mitchell Robinson, and Tyson Chandler. In 2023, Jokic only had 23 dunks, and his scoring output was mainly floaters, jump hooks, and mid-range shots.
Yo, he's
Where Jokic
playing
is by
bully
far the
ball,
best in the league is in
Sucks
shots
he got
between 3
injured.
and 10 feet to the basket, which he's hitting with an insane 65% efficiency. While Joel Embiid won the MVP over Jokic, many would argue that it's because of voter fatigue, as Nikola once again led the league in almost all advanced metrics. An unprecedented hype around the 2023 MVP race saw many people lobbying for Embiid to get the award. Mainly Kendrick Perkins, who accused Jokic of stat padding, along with some very stupid racist remarks, which is better not to get into here.
What does 100 triple doubles?
Come on, Perk.
I mean, when you're stat padding, it's easy, you know. So
I was on X. I was seeing all of the stat padding jokes, bro. On X, they don't hold back, bro. They don't hold back. Yeah, he's out for 4 weeks. That's just a month. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be good.
But what's maybe even more impressive
The Nuggets should be able to win without him.
Is that he doesn't
Yeah,
care
he is out
about
for
the
4
individual
weeks.
awards. He's all about the team's success. When the reporters asked him about becoming the first player since Larry Bird who could win 3 consecutive MVP awards, Jokic nonchalantly responded, "Larry can keep the record. I don't care. I bet Bird doesn't even know where his MVP trophies are." While Embiid publicly demanded to win the award, Jokic kept his mouth shut and continued praising his teammates. You'll never hear Nikola talk about his accomplishments. And since Tim Duncan, there hasn't been a more humble and low-key superstar.
win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
When low-key, I don't know if you could stay low-key at the height of 7 foot. But bro. I guess, bro. I guess he's low-key, bro.
But when the playoffs started, Jokic showed everyone who the real MVP was.
Sheesh.
While the Sixers lost in the second round for the 5th time in the last 6 years, with Embiid's numbers dropping across the board, the Joker dominated. And not only did he dominate, Nikola had one of the best playoff runs in NBA history. In the second round against the betting favorite Phoenix Suns, Jokic averaged a triple-double for the series, and Denver advanced in 6 games. In the conference finals, the Nuggets swept LeBron James and the Lakers.
Swept them?
With Jokic
He swept LeBron?
averaging another triple-double. And then in the finals against Miami, the Joker averaged 30, 14, and 7, leading the Nuggets to their first NBA title and winning the Bill Russell Finals MVP trophy, becoming the lowest drafted player ever to win the award. With 30 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists per game in the playoffs, Nikola became the first player in NBA playoff history to lead all players in total points, rebounds, and assists. The Joker also set the record for the most triple-doubles in a single postseason with 10, while also shooting an insanely efficient 55% from the field, 46% for 3, and 80% from the free throw line.
Now you are an NBA champion, Nikola. How does that feel?
Does he even care? Bro, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about being an NBA champion, bro. He just want to go home. Just want to chill with his horses. Doesn't care, bro. Like, he doesn't care. Bro, or is this just a gimmick? Is this just like a nonchalant gimmick? Is he doing the shy method? Is this the shy method?
the job is done. We can go home now.
Whatever his team needed, Jokic provided, making correct decisions on nearly every possession and scoring clutch baskets when the game was on the line. In historic terms, Jokic's 2023 playoff run ranks in the top 10 all-time in almost every advanced metric, such as offensive win shares, box plus minus, and value over replacement player. In terms of points
Bro,
created,
what even is the box plus minus? What is that?
For his team with scoring and passing, Jokic directly contributed to 55 points per game, which is the best playoff mark ever. His numbers are like someone combined prime Shaq's scoring and rebounding, Steph's shooting, and Magic's passing, all in one. If we look at Joker's playoff averages for his entire career, he's the only player who's in the top 10 in scoring and top 20 in assists and rebounds. Another crazy statistic is that Jokic is shooting 41% for 3 in the playoffs, which is a better mark than Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Ray Allen. He's also 5th all-time in playoff rebounding percentage and 2nd all-time in box plus minus, behind only Michael Jordan. But when it comes to player efficiency rating in the now you know. Jokic is among the top 5 best offensive players ever. And the things that used to be his weakness, stamina and defense, have now only become Nikola's strengths. Out of the 16 playoff games, the Nuggets had the 3rd best defensive rating. In 4 out of 5 games in the finals, they held Miami to under 100 points.
That kind of looked like
While
a
most
foul.
athletic bigs try to block shots, Jokic bothers and baits shots with his long arms while never jumping in the air. Because of this tactic, he never gives up defensive rebounds and is in a perfect position to run the fast break. And when you combine his IQ with active hands and nimble feet,
he does have high IQ.
An excellent defender. In the 2023 playoffs, opponents involved Jokic in over 40 pick and rolls per game, which was 8 more than any other player. It was obvious that opponents tried to attack him and make him work on defense. But when Jokic defended pick and rolls, it produced just 102 points per 100 possessions. That's a better mark than Jaren Jackson, Anthony Davis, and Draymond Green, and they are the best defensive big men in the NBA. Jokic has signed 2 maximum deals so far, and he's likely going to sign the 3rd one, which will make him the highest paid player in NBA history. But that doesn't matter to him whatsoever. Jokic married his high school sweetheart, and apart from his family, what he cares about is his horses. His father's prophecy came true, and Nikola was able to buy his own stable, and he even races when he's in Serbia, which makes him happier than any triple-double or an MVP award. Not bad for a chubby kid that used to drink 3 liters of Coke a day and couldn't do a single push-up.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. This is a good video. We're still not done with Jokic, yo. We're still not done with Jokic. We're about to watch another Jokic video. But this time we gotta understand, like, the stats. We gotta understand, should we watch his top 30 plays? Wait, what? This nigga dropped a historic triple-double on Christmas. 55 points. Okay.
While surfing through some
We're gonna watch all. We're gonna watch all of this. All right, so yeah, we're still on Jokic. We're trying to understand his game now. We watched his story. We watched a little mini documentary on his story. Now we're trying to understand the ins and outs of his game. You know, why, you know, some scenarios that break down why his decision making is so elite. Why he's such a nightmare for the NBA. Because you don't get to be one of the most efficient offensive players of all time by just luck. There's a lot of skill, a lot of hard work, and mental preparation goes into it. So let's see. We're gonna first start off with Jokic dropping 56 points in a triple-double performance on Christmas. Why not? Why not, man? Let's see what he does. Let's see what's going on here, man.
Nikola Jokic, will see a lot of double teams on him. Jones not able to field it, somehow does. Joker going to try a corner triple, and we're underway here in Denver right now.
And Kesty, we say
is he talking trash already?
His numbers continue to grow and be better than a year ago. It's the Olympics. A couple of years ago, it's coming back from injury.
Jokic late block puts it in. And Nikola Jokic has 9 for the Nuggets, trailing here in the first quarter.
Ooh, good spin. Nah, chill.
Away, got the whistle and the
chill.
Position, as David Adelman told us, but look, looking to play the pitch action with Jamal Murray. He feels the overplay by Julius. The wide pin downs, the wide pin aways, allowing him to play around in that mid-range.
Peyton Watson from the wing hits. Peyton Watson had a clean look from the left corner the other night, nearly had a win. Now are closing in on a division championship. The
move, let's spin.
Today, so
Floaties.
Both Minnesota and Denver fan bases
Floaties for
daily
breakfast.
double here on Christmas Day. Rebound. Bones Highland, who's been playing well of late, missing from outside there, and Denver clears it. The Christmas Day record for Minnesota is 26 points. As the Joker hits on the other end, he's got 16. Hand on that one going out. Now trying to cover the Joker who gets by him. And the second effort by Jokic.
Yeah, his buckets are just like, it's like very fundamentally strong, dog. In his own weird way. His fundamentals are sound, but like his game is still unorthodox because he's not as coordinated. He's not as coordinated, but he'll get his buckets.
Who wins the game?
He'll get his buckets. He'll get his assists. He'll get his rebounds.
Look, and I think he's the difference maker.
Come here.
Nikola Jokic, obviously.
Come here.
A future Hall of Famer, the centerpiece of everything that they do, but in their
Nikola Jokic, only 2 of his 20 in the second quarter.
Too easy, bro. And it's an and one. It's like, bro, this looks like one of the easiest and ones you'll ever see. Not even and ones, one of the easiest triple doubles. He makes it look so easy. He doesn't like okay, that one and one, the first and one, that was a tough shot, but it didn't look like it was hard. It didn't look like it was difficult. It just doesn't look like it. Is it maybe it's because of the pace he goes at? He just makes everything look easy.
One-on-one and does a good job of drawing a secondary defender. Shot goes up, and because you've had to be so physical with him when he had the ball in his hands, he uses that against you to get himself in position for the offense.
The amazing is 8 of them he's had by the third quarter.
Yes.
He gets it done early. Look at that. No look to Hardaway.
Pass. And he faked it. He faked it too. Because he's acting like he was going to go out to the key.
Game 7 win in the second round here.
Caught, I guess, a small forward.
He can shoot it from long range.
Yeah.
Denver with a 7-point lead in the ball.
Murray.
Murray gives them their largest lead of the night. It's been too long. Nikola Jokic 1 assist away from a triple-double.
I wanted him to dunk that. That would have been so tough.
Better and better. He just says he's just unique. You know, he's a unique guy that may not
be
he is
unique.
Else like him.
Jamal Murray dunked that.
Puts it in. That'll be assist number 10. And for the second time on a Christmas Day, Nikola Jokic has a triple-double.
So he got a triple-double in the third.
Minnesota defense, they'll shoot over the top.
Yeah, bro.
This
nigga's a cheat code, bro.
In Denver in round 2 to reach the conference finals.
Fuck it for Jamal.
Jokic is back on the floor, and he just fed Jamal Murray for a 3. That's Nikola Jokic against Rudy Gobert. Puts it on the deck, into the lane. Hook shot, good for the big man.
Actually,
just coming out of that, you see the assist, and then setting up Gobert.
17 in a row. But that was with Jokic off the floor. Here's the Joker against Gobert. Cross to the left. Hits the 16-footer.
That was smooth. That looked really well coordinated.
This crowd will rise to its feet here at
it was in the clutch. They in the clutch.
Joker gives it up.
Jamal. Bucket.
Jamal Murray with his 8th triple and a big one.
111 points.
See there on the screen.
Oh, they went to OT.
0 for 5.
Oh, man. This looks like the Timberwolves won this, though.
Timeout by the Joker, a 3.
Well, Denver's been so good after timeout. Right here, just the inverted screen. Jokic gets a wide open 3.
He makes that look too easy.
2 minutes to go in overtime.
Another one.
Joker feeling it. Hits
another one. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. One thing I love about the NBA, dog, is like when the whole crowd just goes silent, waiting to see if the ball goes in. Those little moments like that.
The Joker.
Coming back to it on the other side of the floor.
90 seconds to go here in overtime. Denver started OT, missing its first 5. They've hit their last 3.
I thought he was going for a 3.
Jokic leaner, good.
Yeah, he's beast.
Second delay of game warning.
Beast in the OT.
Technical free throw shot by Nikola Jokic, who makes it a 50-point triple-double here on Christmas Day.
Poor AE, man. Poor AE, man. Poor AE. All right. Now we're going straight into Jimmy High Roller. This is one of the NBA pages I was looking for. I think Nikola Jokic has solved basketball. So we seen him play. We seen him play a little bit. Seen his game. I'm starting to get a feel for how like Jokic game looks a little bit. Slow, unorthodox, but he gets the job done. He's like Dirk, kind of like. His game is like Dirk, but like Jokic-ized. If that makes sense. That makes sense. You know that makes sense.
NBA games last night, I landed on a close matchup between the Nuggets and the Clippers. 39-35 going into the second quarter. It's quite the barn burner we got going on here. I figured someone must be having themselves a night, so I took a quick glance at the box score. And nothing could have prepared me for what I found. Nikola Jokic with 25 and 6 in the first quarter. I thought my eyes must be deceiving me, so I double-checked, and sure enough, the man was dropping a nuke on the Clippers. By the end of the third quarter, the Nuggets had put the Clippers to bed. Jokic didn't really play much after that, and jogged his way to a modest 55, 12, and 6.
You draw 55 points in the first 3 quarters. That's how you feeling, gang? This nigga gotta be stopped. I ain't gonna lie, man. This nigga gotta be stopped. 55 points in the first 3 quarters. Who are you feeling like? Drug test this nigga.
The craziest part about this performance wasn't even how incredible Jokic played in this game. It was how painfully easy he made it look.
That's what I'm saying. I just said it. I said it earlier. He makes it look too easy, bro. It's probably the pace. It's because he plays at his own pace. It just gets to a point where it's like, you're not forcing me. I could do what I want. That's why I'm like, I'm understanding it, right? I could just do what I want. So like, if I'm tired, I'm gonna take my time to get a shot. If I got energy and I know we need a quick bucket, I'll go and do that. I'll set up the pass for someone to go do that, for Jamal to go do that. I don't have to do everything myself. Man, what a player.
Has Nikola Jokic solved the game of basketball?
I'm not gonna lie, Kyrie and Nikola Jokic would have been such a crazy duo. Now that I'm thinking about it, Kyrie and Nikola Jokic would have been an insane duo. Especially if Kyrie did, because I know Kyrie would have trusted him, because Kyrie really trusts like really highly skillful players. That's my favorite player of all time, by the way, Kyrie Irving. But alright, we'll get into that. We'll get into that a little later.
Today's video is sponsored by Rocket Money, the personal signed up for a bunch of subscriptions and forgot half of them. Start saving smarter today. What you are looking at are statistically the best individual seasons of the last 20 years according to GameScore. Now, GameScore is a stat that essentially measures everything a player does on the box score and wraps it up into an all-in-one number. The more a player does and the more efficiently he does it, the higher the game score. Hundreds of players across 2 decades, and these are the top 100. You've got KD in 2010 ranked 85th, Chris Paul in 08 ranked 81st, Kevin Love in 2014 ranked 77th. By the 50s, you are already in MVP territory.
Really? I'm looking for a certain person's face. Where's Kyrie's face at? Yo, stop playing me, bro. Where's Kyrie's face? Man, this shit rigged, man. Y'all niggas just hating on this nigga, man.
Ranked 77th. By the 50s, you are already in MVP territory. LeBron in 2014, Steph in 2016. In fact, there's a lot of LeBron and Steph in here. A lot of Harden, Durant, AD, Giannis. Climb your way into the top 20 seasons, and you are looking at some all-time stat-stuffing campaigns.
Really?
AD in 2018, Westbrook in 2017, LeBron in 2009. But by the time you end up in the top 10, you will find the same 3 names on a run unlike anything else in recent NBA history. The names of Luka, Jokic, and Giannis littered throughout this historic threshold.
I'm seeing Shy a couple of times. I'll look Shy here, Shy here, Shy here. But I'm seeing Luka, Giannis, Jokic, Luka, Giannis, Jokic.
An average game score of more than 27 only achieved 1 time in NBA history by Nikola Jokic last season. However, Shea and Luka on pace this season to make history of their own, and Giannis on pace for an NBA record, nearing a mind-boggling game score of 30, a mark that would have been inconceivable just a few seasons ago. At least, he was on track to break this record, if it wasn't for Nikola Jokic, who
We gotta stop this nigga. Oh God, we gotta stop this nigga. Calling all hoopers. Calling all hoopers worldwide. If you can hear this, we must stop him. We must stop Nikola Jokic. All hoopers worldwide. If you can hear my call, someone who's great enough, someone please. Pick up your shoes. Pick up your gear. Save basketball. He's too powerful.
Currently holds an average game score this season of 32.64, who, when even compared to the greatest seasons of this century,
damn, bro, look at the gap. He's in his own stratosphere.
What he is doing right now, even by his standards, completely unprecedented. Between his video game numbers, unparalleled skill set, and the ease in which he does it all, Nikola Jokic is proving once again why he is the most impactful player in basketball. After getting out to what most fans described as a slow start to the season, averaging a measly 20-14-10 through the first 5 games, Jokic apparently heard the criticism and decided he was going to start shooting the ball again. 6 games into his revelation, and the Nuggets haven't lost a game since. They're beating their opponents by an average of 15 points, and Jokic is averaging 36, 12, and 11 in that span. And I would like to take this time to say I too have came to a revelation of my own. I think Nikola Jokic has solved basketball, not just because of what he's doing on the court, but also because of how—
Alright, bro, so that ain't Glaze?
No.
Let's chill, okay? Wait. Like, bro, okay. Yo, I know we have to clickbait, but I thought you was just saying that just to clickbait, bro. You actually think he solved basketball, bro? Man, get out of here, man.
He's doing it. On Wednesday night, Jokic didn't just have one of the most efficient 50 pieces in league history.
Yo, comment down below if you think he solved basketball.
In NBA history. It didn't matter what they threw at him. Jokic made easy work of all of it.
Does make it look easy, though.
They threw a big body at him in Zubats, and Jokic just backs him down like a featherweight. He makes this shot 100% of the time. Couple plays later, same look, same spot, but this time, while Zubats is waiting for the bump, Jokic just blows on by him. Flip it over on the other wing this time. Zubats is desperately trying to hold him off, but Jokic gets to his spot again. Too skilled, Zubats falls for the shimmy. Jokic gets an easy bucket. Very next possession. This time, they've got some more
He's just doing what he wants out there, bro. Like, that's the thing about these European players, bro. Especially the Eastern European guys. Luka is the same way, and Jokic is the same way. Bro, they just do what they want, and they do it at their own pace, and you could probably know what's coming next, but there's nothing you can do to stop it. A lot of the times, we know what Luka's gonna do next. We know, okay, Luka step back coming. Or okay, Jokic trying to get to the paint and get his dance on, get the romance on. But you can't stop it. It's unstoppable. Somebody stop this nigga. Oh my God.
On him with Brook Lopez. Lopez just saw Zubats get melted, so he's prepared. He's got quick hands, he's waiting for Jokic to turn his back or make a first step, and he just pulls up in his face for an and one. Where is the double, you might ask? Well, they can't send one.
What do you mean he just pulls up in his face for the and one? That was not a jump shot. What was that?
Hands, he's waiting for Jokic to turn his back or make a first step, and he just pulls up in his
face. That's not a jump. doing? And he made this shit all net.
Where is the double, you might ask? Well, they can't send one. Jokic is the best playmaker on the planet. He is praying that you send a double. And this is how the entire night went in LA. Jokic exploiting his freakish strength and soft touch by just casually getting to his spot and feasting on whatever easy look he created. When the Clippers finally decided to make their adjustments, clog the high post, and concede the double team, Jokic decided to take advantage of a lackluster pick and roll defense by drilling three-pointers like they were free throws. It isn't flashy, it ain't that pretty. It really isn't.
It's not pretty at all.
Painfully simple.
It's not pretty at all.
Offensively easy for Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
By the end of the night,
Exactly.
Jokic had bullied.
Exactly. And I'm like, when you're like, think about it generally. When you're 7 feet, and that's strong in NBA, threes aren't really that hard. It's more about just keep my form right, and muscle memory. At that point, it's just muscle memory, keep my form right. You're not gonna get tired. You're a center. So he could probably just shoot the club up all night. Shoot the club up all night, and what can you do about it? But just sit there and watch.
His way to 55 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists on 91%.
I'm starting to realize
shooting.
Look at this. I'm starting to realize how disgusting this nigga is.
The best statistical performance of his entire career in just 34 minutes. The man is moving at half speed. He doesn't get but about
He's
10
getting
inches
better,
off
bro.
the ground, and it doesn't even matter. He is just too smart, too strong, and way too skilled. And I have come to the conclusion that...
And you know, when I was watching basketball, mainly like 2016, 2017, 2018, around that time, took a break around 2019. I caught a bit of the bubble, but I was on and off with basketball from then until now. I always knew that the big man era would be coming back. I always knew it was coming back. But, man, we got big men shooting trees. We got big men running the offense like point guards. We got big men that are 3-level scorers. This shit not fair, dog.
Nikola Jokic has simply won basketball. He beat it. The man solved the game, cracked the code. He has pretty much figured out exactly what to do in any situation and how to do it. He is unbelievably aware of who's on the court, who's guarding him, where the shooters are, where the shot blockers are, where the best shots will open up in 3 seconds, how to open up those shots, what the defense will counter with, and he's already figured out how he'll counter that counter. More than his skill, more than his touch, more than his strength, it is his hyper-awareness and genius basketball IQ that makes him virtually impossible to guard. Jokic is an unrealistic example of what could happen if a player makes the right play every play. You're not going to make all of your shots. Some of your passes might get broken up. But if you're finding the best shot, you're making the right passes, and you're recognizing those opportunities as they present themselves.
It's like this. We saw this start to happen with LeBron, though. In 2015, 2016, 2017, like 2014, 2015, 2016. Like the game literally just, it slowed down for LeBron. 2018, it slowed down for pretty much damn his whole career, right? But I believe in like that peak from 2014 to 2018, the game just slowed down for LeBron. He already was used to all the patterns, the defensive patterns that you could throw at him. So now he's seen it all. It's all in his memory. So now he could just control the game like it's chess at this point. He's so experienced. And I think this is what's happening with Jokic right now. And the thing is, let's be honest, Jokic has a better offensive bag than LeBron. And his offensive bag doesn't really take that much energy. LeBron's offensive bag, yes, he could shoot. It was off and on for a couple of years, but LeBron's offensive bag, you can see it took a lot out of him physically. Jokic's bag doesn't look like it does that, bro. He looks like he could do this for like 164 games, bro.
things are bound to go well. Most players are smart enough to pick out a defense lagging to get back. Most big men will seal their man off for a potential one-on-one near the rim.
Shy, save us!
Are smart enough to not
Shy, save us!
and just spin over their shoulder for an easy bucket. Or how about the fact that the Kings continue to leave this void open in the middle of the paint for an easy floater over and over and over. And by the time they adjust, you've already capitalized on it. When a player has a mismatch in transition, does he get into the set? Or does he immediately recognize the mismatch for the ball? He misdirects the defense with his eyes and then finds a wide open Christian Brown for an easy but Jokic knew Brown was going to be open when he saw his man trailing behind 5 seconds ago. He notices this. He calls for the ball. He knows the Kings are in man coverage. He forces the defense to stay on the corner man by telegraphing what looked like it was going to be a pass to the corner, and he gets his teammate wide open for the easiest.
And here's the funny thing. With Jokic, he already knew this play was going to happen before. He had this play in his mind. He already set this play up in his mind before he passed the halfway line. Right? Because I'm starting to understand this game now. I learn things pretty quickly. You'll get to know me as we go. But he already knows he's going to do this. And I'll tell you this. He is so smart and so quick that even, let's say, they blow that play up. Someone in Sacramento realizes what's going to happen. They blow that play up. He's just going to adapt and just key out the next weakness. Whether it's an open man or reset the offense and then do a pick and roll. He's just good. Or just do a step back and drop a hot one in your mouth. It doesn't matter. Pause.
Points of the night. The guy keeps it simple. How many of his points and rebounds come off of these tip-ins and putbacks? Being in the right place to get these easy buckets.
His game
or these
is nasty,
rolls to the basket where he finds space and keeps the ball high and just feeds it in.
Yo, I know like coaches all around the country love this guy.
Knowing when to float.
I know coaches all around the country
the last time you ran a similar action. It's the difference between an open 7-foot floater and forcing a tough layup. One of the quickest ways to spot a smart player is how quickly they make decisions and how much energy they exert to execute those decisions. What plays to make, what plays not to make, taking every last crumb the defense will give you and taking them efficiently. And there is no player more decisive with the skills to execute those decisions than Nikola Jokic. He doesn't have freakish athleticism to capitalize on for easy buckets, can't jump over his opponents or sprint past them. He isn't outlandishly tall or long in ways that would give him an advantage. In fact, he is about as average in stature and length as centers come. Instead, Jokic possesses a remarkable combination of attributes: touch, strength, and basketball intelligence that has made him the most impactful offensive weapon in the history of basketball. Of course, Jokic's best attribute, the one between his ears, isn't quite something you can measure, but it wouldn't hurt to try. That's what Crafted NBA has attempted to do with their basketball IQ metric, a stat that uses game-specific skills and awareness such as spatial understanding.
Yo, you know what they should do? They should make a basketball IQ test. They should do that for all sports. Because I want to see how I compare. I think my sports IQ is really high.
Decisions and playmaking insights to quantify a player's performance and decision making. It's kind of crazy, right? I know. The player with the highest basketball IQ in the entire NBA is, of course, Nikola Jokic. But as impressive as his box score numbers are, Jokic's true value is better captured by looking through the lens of advanced numbers.
Wait, Jimmy Butler was number second? I just realized Jimmy Butler was the second.
Of course, Nikola Jokic.
And then Alex Caruso. By the way, Jimmy is tied with him. Let's not. Yeah. Jokic is they give him the highest, but hey, man, Jimmy's tied with the man.
But as impressive as his box score numbers are, Jokic's true value is better captured by looking through the lens of advanced numbers. Here are the top 50 players in the league so far this season, according to Box Plus Minus. Now, these numbers will level out a bit as the season continues, but we're quickly approaching the point where most players will settle in about where they are right now. For example, Brunson ranks 31st, Jaylen Brown ranks 25th, Cade at 20, Steph is at 13, and Wemby is at 9. And all the way at the very top, the best players in the league in
Hey,
Luka Doncic,
Shy.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, a box
Shy,
plus minus
Shai.
of 11 or more is historically
cares?
great. There's only been about 20 seasons in NBA history of this caliber. For example, LeBron has only had 3 seasons with a BPM above 11. And all 3 of these guys are playing at that level right now. And then there's Nikola Jokic. Way over here. With a box plus...
Somebody stop this nigga! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, bro! Stop him, bro! Stop this man! Why is he doing this, bro? Oh my god! You win, bro. You win, bro. You win. Oh man. You win, bro.
Of 20.8. This is not a typo. This isn't a mistake. There's no error in this graphic. This, my friends, is Nikola Jokic.
Alright, so this is the video on Jokic. Comment, like down below. Comment, what do you think about this nigga? Alright, bro. Alright, so okay, we got into Jokic. We understand Jokic. It's time to get into Giannis. Now, I was there for Giannis's rise to the top. Right? I was there for Giannis's rise to the top. I seen to understand Giannis been doing. But we're gonna react to, you know what, we're like, cause like I'm already familiar with Giannis's game. We're just gonna find a b-ball breakdown video of like him breaking down Giannis's game. I might just have to search his name up. Giannis. There we go. Giannis been in the league for 9 years now? Damn. And the internet's kind of slowing down now, isn't it? Let's react to Jimmy High Roller talking about Giannis. Doesn't he have no videos of Giannis? They should have never let this happen. We need to have a conversation about what. Let's just get into Wemby then.
You know,
because I'm familiar with Giannis. I want to hear B-Ball Breakdown talk about Wemby as well. You know what I mean? Because I'm a little. I'm familiar with Wemby.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of the biggest superstars on the planet. His length gives him an enormous.
Pause. Talking about Giannis' length like that. How dare you, bro? Some respect, bro. Pause, bro. Okay, Wembanyama is so good it's scary.
We got a heck of a season debut from Victor.
Okay. So we just spoke about Nikola Jokic. And it's clear he is the new villain of them. My personal new villain of the NBA. And we need a savior of basketball. And who else other than Victor Wembanyama? Who else than Victor Wembanyama to save basketball? So now we're going to react to Jimmy High Roller's video about Wemby. We're going to see what he has to say. Let's go.
I've watched a lot of basketball, seen a lot of players come and go. I've seen players take over the game, change the game, climb the mountain of NBA greats. I've seen a lot, but I have never in my life seen anything like Victor Wembanyama. And after what we've witnessed over the past week, many NBA fans, including myself, are left with a question that we didn't think we'd be asking, and certainly not this early. Is Victor Wembanyama the best basketball talent we have ever seen?
A figment of our basketball imagination.
I'm getting goosebumps already, man.
Today's video is sponsored by DraftKings. Bang. Right now on DraftKings, new alert, only on DraftKings.
DraftKings, get at me.
What you're about to see is a play that only one person on the planet can make.
Me? Jacob Jordan?
Trying to go right back at KJ. Wembanyama right there. And then again, came over late. Martin misses the three. Champagny secures it. 2 for 1 if the Spurs want it. Wembanyama
No.
wants it. From the logo.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he's so good it hurts. He's so good it hurts. Ah! 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 Ah!
Wemby gets back-to-back blocks at the rim, then takes the ball coast to coast and puts in a 30-footer. If you didn't see this with your own eyes, you'd think it was a work of fiction. It isn't fair, really, for a player of Wemby's size to be able to do this, But these are not highlights. This is just what his game looks like. Like this play here, where Wemby puts on a spin move from outside the elbow and not only dunks it, he almost spun his way past the rim. Or this play here, where he has 1 foot outside of the paint on this
about to block this nigga, watch. He's about to block this nigga.
Passed him at this point, and yet he somehow pins it against the glass on the opposite side. Wemby went from here to here.
All I know is that if Wemby has a villain arc, yo, his villain arc is gonna legit looks way worse than LeBron's villain arc. LeBron's villain arc was scary, but Wemby's villain arc, bro.
In less than a second. Or how about this play here, where Herb Jones draws Wemby away from the rim and gets him to bite on the fake. Victor is out of position. His back is to the ball. He's trying to guard two guys at the same time.
Back?
Take a wild
no,
guess
he's not gonna.
How this play ends.
No. No.
Yeah, he blocked it. But of all the
No. Wait.
You're him.
Reality-altering plays Wemby has made in just his first week of this NBA season, there was one play in particular that had fans around the world questioning everything they knew about basketball.
Lively denied.
Oh my god, bro. He swatted out with so much aggression.
It's like playing against your dad in the
Okay.
driveway when you're 8 years old. What do you do?
I remember that. I remember this. Bro, you should bro, look. He has the Mavericks. He has this guy over here clapping for him, bro. He has him applauding the move, bro. He has the opponent players just like, you know what? That was tough.
To answer the commentator's question,
that was tough.
There is nothing you can do. I just watched a 7'6" demigod make a 7-footer
Straight
look
up.
like a
This is a demigod straight out of 2K15. This is a demigod straight out of 2K15, bro.
Child, then take him down the court to hit him with a tween crossover behind the back step back 3 for an and one. And in an instant, it felt like everything I knew about the game of basketball was wrong. We knew the concept of Victor Wembanyama. We saw the frame and the competitiveness, and we saw flashes of what he was capable of. And through his first 2 seasons, it felt like we saw where his game was heading. But what we witnessed in just his first 4 games of this season has blown the top off of all of that. Coming into the season, Victor was ranked as the 5th best player in the league according to most sources. And this, to many fans, felt like a gross overestimation, especially since he was sidelined for the second half of last season. Sure, we knew he was probably going to take a leap this season, but nobody was expecting this. Through 4 games, Victor is averaging 31 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks a game on nearly 60, 40, 80.
88 field goal percentage. Are you fucking mad? 88 field. Let me take off my camera so y'all can see what I'm talking about, bro. 88 field goal percentage. Is it crack? This nigga has found compound blue. Compound V. The nigga has the super soldier serum that Captain America had. Bro. Oh my god, bro.
Splits 31, 14, and 5 while playing only 32 minutes a night. Stats that jump off the box score as an early MVP favorite. But what has really warped my brain over the last week is just how much his stats, as incredible as they are underselling just how monumental Wemby has been. On defense, he is a black hole. Anything that comes near him is either sent away or redirected. His 5 blocks a night aren't even capturing how offenses are legitimately avoiding him and anything around the rim when he's down there. In their game against the Raptors, I counted 10 different instances where a player passed up on their drive, picked up their dribble, or just avoided what should have been an easy look just because of Wemby's presence alone. 10 times. Look at this last one here. RJ Barrett blows past Devin Vassell, sees Wemby and just, here, you take it. I promise you, RJ was not planning on rifling a chest pass to his teammate standing 3 feet away from him after he just saw Wemby and panicked. How exactly do you measure this panic factor? Because this doesn't really show up in the box score. But
I mean,
you know,
but let's be honest. What do you do in that situation to get the shot off? You could try your up fake, but I've seen like highlights of this nigga where the fake works. We just seen one. The fake would work and he would still block you again. The fake would work, and he would still block you again. What do you do in that situation? Someone tell me, please, please. Someone tell me, bro. What do you do in that situation?
According to the NBA's head-to-head matchup tool, so far this season, Wemby has guarded 40 different players. That's about 10 different players each game. He's seen every look you can get. And in total, these 40 players shot 64 times throughout 4 games. Out of these 64 shots, they made 19 of them. Wemby's matchups this season have a field goal percentage of 29.7%, nearly 21% worse than when he's not guarding them. The kid is single-handedly breaking offenses. And speaking of offense, whatever he worked on with Hakeem in the offseason, it's working. The league should have terminated those workouts the moment those photos surfaced.
I ain't gonna lie, Wemby. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie, Wemby. You're banned from working with any more NBA legends. You're not allowed to work with Shaq. You're not allowed to work with MJ. You're not allowed to talk to LeBron. You're not allowed to talk to Stephen Curry. You're not allowed to talk to nobody. You're not allowed. Figure it out. Figure it out on your own, Wemby. Wemby, you're not allowed to work out with any more NBA legends. Figure it out on your own, bro. This is not fair.
Because now it's too late, and we're all in trouble. Abandoning his three-point heavy shot selection from last season, Wemby is now working from virtually every spot on the court. He's facing up from the elbow, he's getting his back to the basket and just going over whoever's attempting to guard him. He's added this footwork to his game that is almost startling to watch, not just because of how rare this skill is in today's league, but also because no human being of his size should be able to move like that. And he's got this mid-range bag now that has really opened up his game. How exactly do you stop a player who's a good enough shooter that you have to respect his jumper and crowd him, but can also get to the rim in about one step from anywhere on the court? How do you stop this? How do you stop this? Oh, I know. You can't.
You don't.
Wemby is one hezzy pull-up away from being a KD Hakeem hybrid. And as twisted as it sounds, that still feels...
This is not fair. This is not fair. Oh my god. Oh my god. Did you just hear the words you just said? A Hakeem and Katie hybrid, bro. Oh my god.
Feels like I'm selling his game short. He has been playing so out of his mind this past week. It genuinely felt like there was a mass awakening among NBA fans around the world. A fracture in basketball's timeline. Am I watching the most talented player to ever touch a basketball? Not in terms of greatness or accomplishments or any of that, but just sheer ability and potential.
Come on.
For a brief moment, the thought did cross my mind. But I knew that was a terrible overreaction to a great opening game and opening.
Like, bro, okay, Jokic, that's one thing. But this is sucking all the hope out of my body, bro. Like, I have no more hope for a better world when I watch this nigga play basketball, bro. Like, this is insane, bro. This is genuinely insane. I feel like I'm watching, like, the greatest thing. This nigga is a thing. He's not human. He's a thing. He's made in a... Yo, we used to say people are made in a lab as, like, as, you know, like, advice or as like, a way of just giving them praise. Nah, this nigga was legit made in a lab. This nigga is a matter of national security. We need to keep Wemby's phones tapped. We have to make sure he's never close to any military bases because we don't know what else he could do. We don't know if Wemby could just move things with his mind. Teleport. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not.
Week. But then I saw the reactions from other fans. And the more I saw, the more I realized I wasn't alone. This reaction was almost universal.
He looked at Anthony Davis and treated him like an 8th grader.
He abused them. With all due respect to AD, he abused them.
I've never thought this way about like Jokic and SGA, even LeBron, who I think is the...
We just watched Jokic. I'm sorry. Like I have a level of respect for Jokic because this game is just mostly skill, right? But when you can combine a skill like Jokic's with athleticism, and then you can see a player come down the court, tween, behind the back, step back, money. That's not Stephen Curry. That's not KD. That's not James Harden, who is 7 foot plus, who can also go into the post and bang out with the best defensive centers we've seen in the last couple of years. Keep this man far away from America's nukes. We don't know what else he can do. We don't know. I once heard that Wemby could okay.
Greatest of all time. This kid is different. I hope to God he stays healthy because he has a chance to be the greatest player of all time.
I agree. And truly a talent we've probably never seen before and we never will again.
But what he did in that game, my eyes are seeing something that I don't think I've seen before. That 100%. I can't like compare him.
Bro, everyone that talks about him is just in awe. This must have been how the 90s felt watching Michael Jordan play. This must be how the 90s felt just watching MJ. It feels like I'm watching magic. It feels like it's like the thing. Magic. The thought form. The ability. And this is not even Glaze. This is not Glaze. Anyone with a brain who actually understands this sport knows that, like, yo, this is not something we should be seeing. Humans shouldn't be seeing Wemby play basketball. Wemby should be one of those myths like Bigfoot or El Chupacabra.
To anybody, for all of the years we've been watching basketball, I can't compare him to anybody.
They should call him CGI because it just doesn't seem real sometimes when you're watching.
That's his nickname. I'm gonna start calling him CGI.
Never seen no shit like him.
Like, I'm watching him and I'm like, I'm not really sure how you defend it. You don't really defend this.
It broke my basketball brain.
It's hard to imagine that a 21-year-old in a league stacked with the most talent it's ever had in the world. But then you watch him play, and the idea of him being the best is easier to imagine than his actual game itself. The best way I can describe is easier to imagine than his actual game itself. The best way I can describe Victor Wemby is just shamelessly spamming them at his convenience. I know he's not cheating, but he's so unfair that it feels like he is. And personally, in all my years of watching the NBA, there's only been one other player that genuinely felt like he was hacked.
He doesn't care. He's like, you guys are playing basketball, I'm playing ball hoops. I'm playing net ball. You guys play basketball. Y'all have fun doing that, play that sport. I'm gonna play an entirely different sport. I'm gonna call this Wemby ball. I'm playing Wemby ball. Y'all have fun playing basketball. We're not the same. That's what we're watching right now, bro. We're watching this guy invent a new sport.
And then realizes he's got a big size mismatch, which he essentially always has anyway, before shot faking on a double team, and then what? This should have just been a massive dunk on the right side, but instead he absorbs the contact from AD and then reverses it. Mon Dieu. It wasn't even necessary.
He just did it for his aura. He just did it so he had something to make him feel something. He doesn't feel anything anymore. He's numb when he plays the sport of basketball. He's numb.
We haven't seen anything like this ever. We'll get into his defense in a minute, but I want you to understand the outsized impact he has on every facet of this game all over the floor. He scares Washington into stopping short on the drive. He's turned the wrong way, but recovers to make Lively look like a middle schooler, and then races the ball up the court as the lead guard again before slowing down into an ISO. Tween, in and out cross. Tween, behind the back, step back, landing space foul, and hits the three. I'm rarely speechless, sports fans, but this is one of those times. They try to go to a zone to contain him, but he just uses a pass fake to split the guards, and it is over right here. No one can stop a guy this tall and mobile when he's got both feet in the
Don't embarrass yourself jumping with him. Just let him do what he has to do.
It's a skill for the game that has me in awe of what he is and what he will become. They run a ball screen with their point guard for him, and his three-point shot is good enough that
I want to see like B-ball breakdown do this live.
He has to bite on the fake, so he breaks into a give and go. And again, this is where
his commentary would be like, I think it would be awesome.
To stop him once he's going to the rim off a clean catch. And this was the moment. You may see an isolation with all manner of dribble move that proves ineffective against one of the best defenders in the league, and that all is true, but he still takes him into the superstar area, makes AD go for the fake, absorbs the contact, and just swishes this in AD's face. This was the moment that convinced me he's going to be the greatest force we've ever seen in the NBA.
I gotta start watching Spurs play ball, man. I'm gonna start following Spurs and OKC.
Tells me all I need to know. And it wasn't a fluke play either. He French fried AD a number of times.
French fried. Okay, all right, bro.
Just taking
all
him
right,
to
buddy.
the paint and the soft little jump hook. Davis had no chance. The pick and pop is going to scare defenses for the next 15
That's a funny thing, you know, like he could just like at his skill level, he could play the game like Jokic if he wants to. Play at his own pace. He doesn't have to pick up his pace. He generally just plays for like his own enjoyment at this point. Right? He does what he wants for his own enjoyment. If I'm tired, I'm just gonna take it slow, nice and easy, post work. Barbecue chicken. Oh, I got some energy. Oh, you was talking a little hot, 80? Alright, come to the perimeter with me. Come to the let's talk on the perimeter. Let's talk on the perimeter, 80. Let's talk on the perimeter. You know how terrifying that is? Your 7-foot center just said, yo, let's have a conversation in ISO on the perimeter. And now he's pulling out point guard combinations. I have to say that in French. He's pulling out point guard combinations before stepping back and drilling and dropping a hot one in your mouth.
Davis has to honor the shot fake, but that means he gets the lane, and that's going to be curtains for any defender. I mean, who does this? A lefty drive into a tween spin and then one-footed fadeaway bank shot from 10 feet with touch. It's outrageous. At this point, the game was long over, but he demoralizes a first-team all-defender by going coast to coast on him, lefty in and out, and then just politely crams it in on his head. This is not like Giannis or LeBron bearing down on the defense. He's combining speed, skill, strength, and he's even getting stronger too. Which is exactly what you need to combine in order to play Prize Picks.
All right,
they got a way to stack them.
Yo, come on, y'all. Y'all getting too good at these advertisements, bro. All right, bro. Y'all getting too good, bro.
It's good to be right. The closest thing we got to a fair fight was when he was guarded by Derek Lively, who's a very good defender and at least in the vicinity of his height. Let's examine the Spurs offense. They run horns with a double high post, and after back screening for the guard out top, they run elbow get action. Wemby rejects the screen. Terrific defense to cut him off. But this is the superstar area. The pull-ups in the mid-range that only the best of the best get to take. And he's already consistently making these with a hand up in his face as a perfect swish. Here's another pick and pop to get him some space on the catch. Into zoom action as Vassell comes off the pin down into handoff out top. Instant advantage on Klay Thompson, but great recovery to stall the attack. However, Wemby's roll to the basket takes him right to deep position on that left block. It wasn't all perfect last night as he gets off the close.
Bro, imagine being a point guard, having this guy on your team, bro. Yo, Chris Paul would have loved playing with Wemby, bro. Chris Paul would have been salivating and foaming at the mouth, thinking about all the things he was going to do with Wemby. What a bro.
Early and making it a travel, and the heavily contested fadeaway wasn't the best choice here. I think he should have planted that right foot into a shot fake, then step through back to his left for a runner.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Here's that same
But
pick and pop
he's going to improve on
instead
that.
of zoom action,
He's going to
the two
improve on
guards
that.
exchange and get into a high post split. It wasn't executed well enough, leaving Wemby to have to isolate with little time on the shot clock. Nothing fancy, just gets as close as he can on the lefty drive before extending his left step towards the baseline for a little more space.
Hesitation.
And then floating this in softly off the glass.
Too easy.
We've never seen a player
You got to get that ball. You got to get that ball while he's bringing it up, or else you're not getting the ball.
Like this. Maybe Will
You got to rip him.
and Hakeem Olajuwon in their primes. And that's notable because Hakeem has been working with Wemby, but this is on a different level. More superstar treatment by both.
I said it in the last video. We have to ban Wemby from working with any NBA legends. He's not allowed. Wemby, you're not allowed. You're not. Wemby, look at me. You're not allowed.
And the refs. His team just going to him on his mismatch down low tells us he's the man, and the refs seem to ignore the gather here before the left foot hits the ground. That means he uses 3 steps to get this off, and while it was impressive that he hit it,
he did travel.
Waved off as a traveling violation. More evidence of his.
He's allowed to travel though. He's 7 foot.
One of my secrets is shooting off the dribble from distance, floating the ball, and then
he's 7 feet, bro. Who's gonna tell him that was a travel? Not me. I'm not telling him that was a travel. Hey, you go tell him it's a travel. You go do it.
Up as a trailing roll man. And it's nice when a guy with his foot on the dotted line can just rise up off 2 feet and dunk it. And when their offense is functioning properly, they're generating advantages off of great ball movement around the floor. His role here tilts the defense, giving them a 2-on-1 advantage on the left side, leading to a middle drive, and this will always be the result if Wemby is down there.
Yep.
The high post is where I'd like to see him operate even more out of, and it's patently unfair when his defender plays perfect defense on him to force the dreaded mid-range shot, and he still drops it in perfectly. We didn't get a lot of examples of how good he is as a passer, but in transition, he did treat us to a nice no-look to the corner that froze Cooper Flagg and directly created this wide-open 3. And we're getting a sense of how open he's going to get his teammates when all eyes focus on him when he drives.
Because his gravity is going to be ridiculous.
Gravitate towards him.
His gravity is ridiculous already, actually. It's not even going to be ridiculous. It's already ridiculous.
He'll get a lot more assists since he's a willing passer and sees the floor so well from such a high vantage point. The defense is almost as impactful as the offense, to be honest. He roams the paint and knows how to time his jump to deflect these shots just before they're on their way down, so it's not a goaltend. Drivers simply must know where Wemby is at all times and shoot their shot only if they dare, as there are very few angles or arcs you can shoot and get it by him, as Cooper Flagg found out. This time, Flagg doesn't even attempt the shot as Wemby's rotation stops him cold in his tracks. There's no way to measure this impact, but trust me, it's profound. But the one area teams might have quote-unquote success is in the mid-range against him, but we know from a lot of data that these shots and won't go in enough to justify shooting them a lot. I caught a glimpse of his zone defense where they can allow Cornet
you need a generational star for that, or a superstar at
and
least.
ride the 2.9 seconds allowable in the lane, which then lets Wemby roam the backside and contest perimeter shots with this incredible wingspan. I don't think anyone will have much success against this considering how high you have to shoot it to clear his contest. Plus, he's already great at utilizing verticality to legally absorb contact while contesting in the air, and I don't think there's a player out there that can score against a wall like this. So there you have it, sports fans. Call him whenever you like. Just don't call him late for dinner, lunch, or breakfast, since he'll be eating yours in your face, dismantling every record we have on his way to the greatest career we'll have ever seen.
Oh. The new GOAT. The new GOAT. The day Wemby invented a new sport. That's what we're gonna call today. We'll call you know what I'm talking about. Does anyone have like the Thunder are embarrassing the NBA. Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna talk about the Thunder and we're getting into Shy now.
Last night in a matchup against the Jazz, the 15-1 OKC Thunder found them last night in a match.
Okay, so far, in terms of covering the new gen of the NBA, we've covered Nikola Jokic. Yeah. We've covered Victor Wembanyama. And now we're about to cover Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let the games begin. Let the games begin.
Matchup against the Jazz, the 15-1 OKC Thunder found themselves in a tough spot, facing a deficit halfway through the third quarter. One of just a few times they've trailed in the third all season, getting out-rebounded, out-hustled, back against the wall, and looking to take just their second loss of the season. With 7 minutes and 20 seconds left in the quarter, Keontae George hit these 2 free throws, giving the Jazz a 7-point lead. Now, remember that, down 7, with 7 minutes left in the third. It wasn't until a minute and a half later when Lou Dort hit this jumper to give the Thunder their first lead of the quarter and opened up the floodgates on the Jazz.
5 minutes, just over 5 to play in the third. SGA step back 3.
And Bonko. This was 11 go.
Williams across court to Caruso.
Damn.
Kicks. Williams for 3.
Adjustments. I was talking about it.
They're burning these niggas, man.
Caruso. They go to the hot hand. Someone's going to take a jump.
Oh, wow. Come on, man.
By the end
is
of
black
the
magic.
third, just 7 minutes later, the Thunder went from 7 points down to a 22-point lead. A 29-point swing to finish out the quarter. The Jazz were outplaying the Thunder for nearly 3 quarters and then got blown out in the blink of an eye. The Oklahoma City Thunder are just
Shai.
a good team. They are one of the best teams in modern.
The savior of basketball. The new leader of the regime, however you want to say it, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. All hail the king.
NBA history. Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek, #1 rated ticketing app with over 28 tickets only on SeatGeek. In Monday's game against the Pelicans, the OKC Thunder completely blitzed a struggling New Orleans team, getting out to a 25-point lead in the first quarter. 49 points in total, a new franchise record. The rest of the game wasn't much different. The Thunder making quick work of the Pelicans in the same fashion they have just about every other team they faced this season.
Dort again. Give me a break. Typical. And Dort again. Shares it. That's the right way. Yeah, that's the shoot. Isaiah Joe. Gilgeous-Alexander with Dort. Extra pass. Yeah, they move the basketball. There's no question.
They're just torching these niggas.
Timeout ball. Mitchell trying to get there. Derek helped out.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I might bandwagon into OKC while they're good, and they have like a super cool new like point guard that's tough, mad aura, drippy. Does he play James Harden ball? So what? At least I'm gonna get some highlights out of it. Am I bandwagoning? Yes. Is it shameless? Yes. Am I gonna enjoy myself? Yes.
You help, they burn you. Isaiah Joe, clean look. What else is new?
What else is new?
They're going to get a last look. It'll be Mitchell, and he's going to get it like everything else.
Like everything else.
Third quarter.
Yo, wait, time out. So we're not gonna listen to the commentator, bro. He is he's not even livid. He's just used to it. He's numb. He's just nope, like everything else.
The game was essentially wrapped up. The Thunder winning by 17 without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander playing a single minute in the fourth.
Oh,
Shai
wow.
also didn't play in the fourth quarter in the game before this. The Thunder up by so much, they just didn't need him. He also didn't play in the fourth in their previous game against the Lakers or the game before that against the Warriors. He did play a handful of minutes in the fourth in the game before that one and then sat the entire fourth in the game before that. In fact, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the reigning MVP, didn't play a single fourth quarter minute in 10 of the Thunder's last 15 games. OKC's so dominant this season that they are eviscerating teams without the assistance of their MVP favorite to close out games. And this has been the story of the Thunder so far in the early NBA season. A 16-1 record through their first 17 games. Half of those games ending in a blowout. Their one loss of the season proudly coming at the hands of my Blazers. But coming off of what proved to be one of the most dominant seasons in NBA history, the Thunder have doubled back and found ways to get even better, with a gap on the rest of the league about as big as any team has ever had. Through their first 17 games, OKC has beaten their opponents by an average of 16.5 points per game. A margin of victory that not only leads the NBA this season, it is the largest margin of victory through 17 games in the history of the NBA. It's better than Jordan's Bulls, better than the 73-win Warriors, better than they were last season. The way they achieved this mind-boggling margin, just as impressive as the margin itself. Because a lot of these games are effectively over by the end of the third quarter. Against the Hornets, they were up by 17 going into the fourth, up by 36 against the Lakers going into the fourth. They had a 35-point lead against the Warriors after 3, 22-point lead on the Jazz, up 26 on the Pelicans after 3, up 18 on the Mavericks, up 19 on the Hawks. In fact, the largest season average point differential in NBA history was set last season by none other than the Thunder, beating teams by an average of 12.8 points per game. So far this season, the Thunder's average point differential is over 14 points after just 3 quarters. They are beating teams by a record-setting margin before the fourth quarter even begins. They're not stat padding, they're not running up the score, they're actually taking their foot off the gas almost every night. And this is one of many reasons why their hot start to the season has been so convincing. It's not just that they're winning, it's how early and decisively they're winning. The foundation of their extraordinary start, not just in the talent of their roster, but the depth of talent on their roster. Right now, even with their second option and also...
This is what good team building looks like. I'm hoping this is what Todd Boehly and Blue Co. Clear Lake can achieve with Chelsea. To make it to put together a team that's so dominant that they start breaking records.
Star Jalen Williams sidelined, the Thunder have about 9 players who are legitimate starting caliber guys, essentially 2 starting units on the same team. While most teams may fall into a struggle to keep their momentum when faced with injuries, the Thunder have a factory line of quality players who can fill the gaps at any moment's notice. But their 16-1 record, as good as it is, doesn't quite capture just how big the disparity is between them and their opponents. There's a handful of teams around the league right now that are exceeding expectations as title contenders. The Spurs, Lakers, Rockets, Nuggets, and Pistons. Now, all of these contending teams have good records, but not all wins are built the same. Despite having the same record, the Celtics have outscored their opponents by far more than the Bucks have. The Lakers have the 4th best record in the NBA, but only the 14th best point differential. But it is the Rockets and the Nuggets who have outplayed their opponents more than any other team in the league this season. The Rockets with a point differential of plus 146 and the Nuggets with a plus 165.
Damn.
But of course,
Rockets might actually be kind of good.
There's the OKC Thunder, who have outscored their opponents by a record-breaking 277 points this season, a mile ahead of the next best team and the whole entire league. Woo! The Thunder are not just winning games, they are running teams off the court. Last season, OKC won 68 games. They beat teams by a larger margin than any team ever has before. They won a championship, and they came back the next season measurably better at just about every facet of the game. They're deeper, they're smarter, they're less reliant on free throws, and they've built on their chemistry that was established last season. But there's one area in particular that give the Thunder a near insurmountable lead on every other team in the league: their defense. The Thunder are suffocating teams with their size, their depth, and their athleticism. Their rotation is like a revolving door of active, tough, smart defenders. Teams are never given an opportunity to get on a run or capitalize on bad matchups. When one all-NBA caliber defender goes to the bench, another one pops up in his place. According to estimated defensive plus-minus, the Thunder have 5 of the top 15 defenders in the entire
Chai's the top 15 defender. I'd like to see that. My guy. Alex Caruso. Him.
Entire league. 5. And they have 7 players sitting in the top 20. And this isn't even factoring in Jalen Williams, their all-NBA defensive star who has yet to suit up this season. If stopping the Thunder from scoring wasn't hard enough, scoring enough points to even compete with them has become the hardest thing in basketball. There's nowhere to hide. Every lineup is switchable, they're active, they're disciplined, they know their roles. This is not a young team winning on talent and pace and scoring. This is a young team that defends like a gritty veteran contender with a defensive profile that has become a recipe for walking its way through the regular season. And this is the part that should really worry the rest of the league. Hot shooting can come and go. Offensive explosions can be random, but a defense this good for this long is not a fluke. It's a system. When the Thunder aren't hitting their shots, they'll just hold you to 42.5 and make sure you aren't either. When they are hitting their shots, well, then you get scores like this. And it's not like it's 1 or 2 elite stoppers rising the tides for the rest of the team. Last season, the Thunder put up defensive numbers that made them one of the greatest defensive units of the modern NBA. In fact, they were so good that despite their 2 best defenders, Alex Caruso and Chet Holmgren, missing out on all defensive teams because of the minimum game make all defensive teams. This team legitimately has at least 4 all-NBA caliber
This is what good team building looks like.
Defenders. But there's one metric that pretty much sums up the historic nature of what the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing on defense right now. Relative defensive rating. How many points do the Thunder give up compared to the league average? It's a metric we can use for comparing defenses across completely different eras without getting lost in pace, rules, and style of play. And the Thunder aren't just good. They are putting together the single best defensive season in NBA history. League average defense this year sits at about 115.5 points allowed per 100 possessions.
This is crazy, dog.
OKC is at 104.1. That's a relative defensive rating of minus 11.4.
Bro, let me move the camera so y'all can see what I'm seeing, bro. Bro, what's up with these niggas, bro?
By far,
like this is the team of support, but like
modern NBA.
Damn, bro.
History. For some context, the 2004 Pistons, who are widely regarded as the greatest defensive team the league has ever seen, had a relative defensive rating of minus 7.5. Duncan Spurs, at their best, hovered around minus 7 to minus 8. The 90s Knicks teams that practically tackled anyone that came near the paint were in that same neighborhood. What the Thunder are doing right now is beyond all of them. In an era designed to make defense harder than it's ever been, OKC is lapping the best defenses of all time. Now, all of this stuff, the defense, the scoring, the depth, it's all great indication that this Thunder team is on a crash course with history. However, we are looking at a 16-game sample size. Not quite enough games to assume how this team will fare over the course of an entire season. If that were the case, then a 15-1 record or a 93.8% win rate has them on pace for about 77 wins this season. Of course, we know that's not how this works. Injuries can happen, bad streaks happen, schedules get tougher. But there is a metric by Cleaning the Glass called expected wins that attempts to factor all of this in and project how many games a team will win over the course of a season, not based on how many games they've won, but based on the quality of the team itself. When Golden State went on their historic 24-0 start to the season in 2015, this metric was spot on when it projected the Warriors would end the season with about 73 wins, the highest projected total for any team over the last 2 decades. The projected win total for the OKC Thunder this season? About 74 wins. Statistically on pace for the most dominant regular season of all time.
Wow. I don't know what to say. Yeah, no, I'm just looking at the stats. It just had me speechless. I didn't say anything the whole video. I'm just like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But one thing I can say is, if Chelsea can build a team this dominant, clearly you have my apologies, niggas. Yeah.
Just tank. Tank this season. What's the point of trying to win as many games as possible? I mean, the Celtics have already traded away Drew Holiday. They already traded away Kristaps.
All right, so from some of the best players of this new era to some of the best teams of this new era. Our last video, we watched how statistically amazing the defending champs, the OKC Thunder, are. Now we're going to watch a video on the Boston Celtics, another greatly built team. I don't know if this is going to be more statistical or narrative driven, but we're going to give it a watch. We're going to give it a watch. We're hot on the basketball trail today, people.
Just tank. Tank this season. What's the point of trying to win as many games as possible? I mean, the Celtics have already traded away Drew Holiday. They already traded away Kristaps Porzingis. They're taking a ton of money off of their books. Jason Tatum will be out for the entirety of the 2025-26 season. You are not
I didn't even know that.
a good basketball team.
2 seasons ago, the Celtics looked like the league's next inevitability. They entered the season as title favorites and tore through the playoffs without breaking a sweat. It felt like the bold announcement of the league's next Bostonian dynasty. Then in one summer, it all evaporated. A devastating injury to Jason Tatum after a deflating postseason cracked the foundation, and Brad Stevens made a decision most title teams never even consider. He broke it up. The second apron, conflicting timelines, and a lingering sense that something had stalled all played a role in the decision, but still, even with all of the logic to support it, choosing to detonate a roster that had just won a title felt unthinkable. Before their ring could even collect some dust, the team that hung banner number 18 was gone. They aren't used to one-hit wonders like that in Title Town. Throughout history, the Boston front office has been accused of many things: callousness, insensitivity, a focus on winning so singular it rejects any ounce of romanticism. But one thing they've never been is naive. This season, they took a look around and assessed the ceiling of the team with a clinical mindset, and the conclusion they reached was simple. Without Jason Tatum, this team didn't have a shape. They had a lack of clearly defined role players, auxiliary pieces who would have to be supportive stars, and most importantly, there was no proven number one to run the offense through. There were questions everywhere. With that many uncertainties, establishing a direction was impossible, so they decided that they'd use this season as something else. This would be an experiment, an ongoing test aimed at turning variables into certainties, and it began right at the top with the hairline bandit himself, Jaylen Brown. Brown has
I seen the memes, dog. This nigga was marking people. Marking people. No respect, Jaylen Brown. You just leaving a piece of yourself on people everywhere you go.
Developed one of the most complex reputations in the NBA. He's someone we expect to see at All-Star Weekend, a Finals MVP, and one of the earliest additions of the modern two-way wing every team is searching for. But for his entire career, he was judged more for what he wasn't. Even at his peak, when he was efficiently averaging 24 in the playoffs, the critiques were just as loud as the praise. People could acknowledge the fact that he was a great player and a perfect complement to Jason Tatum, but there was a feeling that he was benefiting from a stacked rotation that allowed him to hunt favorable matchups at will. The question here was simple and essential to any path forward. What would Jaylen Brown look like when the circumstances weren't perfect? After all, we had seen him struggle against big-time defenders in the past. Draymond infamously gave him problems in the finals, and his left hand is still every commenter's main target on any social media post, even loosely related to Brown. But this season was his chance to cement himself as exactly who he says he is. With Tatum sidelined for at least the vast majority of the season, JB was the only realistic candidate to carry the offense. And with no championship expectations, the Celtics would be perfectly fine living with the results. This year, they've given Brown free reign to push the issue, play his game, and attack like a true number one. And he's blown every expectation out of the water. We're talking 29 points per game on 50% from the field to go along with career-high assist numbers. Those are all NBA stats, and they're backed up by the eye test. He's playing like a refined engine, breaking down defenders, getting to his spots with poise, and playing at his own pace every step of the way. That's a clear check mark next to the biggest.
That's why I keep saying this. Like, The ability to play at your own pace, your own rhythm. That has to be checked off. If you want to be considered a superstar in my book, that has to be checked off.
Box on the list. Now they know there's that isn't fueled to the brim with luxury pieces. And once that question was answered, they started looking around with more intent. Next up was the backcourt, and this was a little bit less high stakes. For starters, Derek White was still Derek White, a sharpshooting defensive mastermind. And now that they've stopped forcing him to get up 20 shots per game, his percentages have gradually recovered. That isn't news though. White was an enormous piece of that initial title run, and no one thought he'd regress so quickly. The real question was the man beside him, the white boy extraordinaire, Hayden Pritchard. In the past, Pritchard was a spark plug, the Celtics' volcanic six-man with a unique propensity for nailing long-range buzzer beaters. But now, Drew Holiday is gone, and the only guy on the roster with the potential to match his impact is Pritchard. In order for this new iteration of the team to function, he would have to fill the shoes left behind by the two-time champ. But with an important caveat beside that statement, the Celtics don't need Pritchard to be Drew Holiday. They aren't asking him to smother opposing floor generals or post up undersized guards. They need him to be a scorer and a stabilizer, someone who could calmly run the offense, pick up a tough matchup, and still find the time to look for his own shots. It was a big ask. The freedom Pritchard had as a six-man was cut in half, and early on, it showed. October was rough, but by November, things started slowing down. With each game, he was looking more like his old self while steadily adding those connective pieces to his game. He stopped rushing to get his and started waiting for his moment, staying ready and capitalizing as soon as it rolled around. In other words, he was playing like a starter without losing his identity, and that meant another building block had fallen into place. Between Pritchard's ability to make things happen off the bounce, his elite shot making, and his commitment to being an active defender, he gives the Celtics enough to form a playoff caliber backcourt, a significantly cheaper playoff caliber backcourt.
Okay.
Now let's take stock for a second. With White, Brown, and now Pritchard, Boston has three pieces that have shown enough to be counted on as key contributors, and they're all on contract for 2 years after this. That means they have a perimeter worth building around. But in order to match that in the interior, they had to find a center that fit their system. In this case, asking for a sage of a stretch five like Al Horford or a matchup nightmare like Kristaps Porzingis was too much. All the Celtics need is a rim-protecting big man with enough foot speed and athleticism to be a true pick and roll threat. There was only one option in front of them, Nomias Keita. The center from Portugal was another cherished reserve, an energy big that could get a resounding reaction from the crowd on the right night. But his role had always been incredibly limited. Keita had only started 6 games in his entire career, and he had never played more than 15 minutes per game before this season. The other planned developments were at least feasible. Just one more step for players who had already proven
like
they
an
could
NBA
evolve.
Europe,
This
NBA
was
Asia.
different. In order for Keita to reach the benchmarks the Celtics had in mind, he'd have to record career highs in every statistical category while maintaining the efficiency and effort he was known for. Either he made the leap and Boston didn't have to go shopping for a new center, or he didn't, and there would be some more reshuffling necessary. For the sake of drama, we like to keep you on the hook for a bit longer and say something like Keita stumbled early, then he figured it out as he gelled with his teammates. But that wouldn't be true, because this graceful giant was ready from the opening tip of the Celtics' first game. He hasn't tried to do too much, and he hasn't been paralyzed by the weight of his responsibilities.
So you see, it's just two. It's the same theme with two different teams. It's team building. It's like not every team needs a superstar at every position. They just need the right pieces for the system. But that's the thing. Knowing your system is very important.
into the occasion with the same passionate professionalism that he used to turn heads in the first place. Relentless rebounding, reliable rim protection, and constant energy that reverberates throughout every fan in attendance. Once he proved that the sample size wasn't misleading, the last big piece of the puzzle came into place. That's it. That's a starting four with one position reserved for an all-NBA first team member. The backcourt has been reassembled, the wing reaffirmed, and the interior rebuilt. The skeleton of a contending amazing starting five is ready. Unfortunately, Boston sacrificed their bench in order to get here. Guys like Pritchard and Keita were the backbone of a second unit that was dangerous enough to turn games around. And we all know how important depth is in this league. No matter how great the starting five is, they aren't surviving.
Depth is like, this is modern sports. Depth is to win any big trophy in any big league. I'm starting to realize is depth. It's depth. Now, you could have you can have a historic first team, but if the first team has to carry the whole load the whole season, it's not going to be enough to get you your title.
Some of these young teams
doesn't matter if it's in the Premier League in England or in the NBA in America. It's probably the same in the NFL. I'm not too familiar, but I'm pretty sure it's probably the same in the NFL. You need good depth in the NFL. Pretty sure.
Without help. But even before the season started, we knew the Celtics bench wouldn't be that empty. Anthony Simons is one of the most accomplished members of the Celtics bench, and while he's experienced his fair share of growing pains as he gets acclimated to the Northeast, the potential for a flame-throwing six-man is obvious. Then there's Sam Hauser, the still dangerous sniper who has admittedly struggled a bit in the early portion of the season. Those two give Boston a solid baseline of offensive production. Still, what made their reserve special in the first place wasn't just the excellent three-point shooting, it was the never-ending supply of connectors. Guys like Al Horford and Luke Cornett, players they could trust to plug up defensive holes and make the right hustle plays more consistently than anyone they'd go up against. There weren't really any clear replacements for those quiet game changers, only a handful of young guys with blank track records. Sometimes though, that's exactly who you want to bet on. The first one the Celtics took a chance on was Josh Minott, a 4-year forward who spent his first 3 seasons buried in Minnesota. Almost immediately, their investment paid off. Minott has the athleticism to defend stars for stretches at a time, the motor to turn loose balls into quick buckets, and even a jump shot to keep help defenders honest on the other end. He doesn't just look like a capable replacement. He looks like someone they could have used last year or even the year before that. And best of all, he's not the only one. Hugo Gonzalez has been a flawless fit. Rookies who are this technically nuanced aren't usually this ridiculously relentless, and the Spaniard is only going to get better from here. But our favorite surprise of this early season is the versatile defensive wildcard causing havoc every time he steps on the floor, Jordan Walsh. Boston fans have been waiting for this breakout for a minute, and it's been sweeter than they could have imagined. The Arkansas product has been a genuine game wrecker, a momentum shifting monster who could come in cold off the bench and immediately raise the effort level for every player wearing a green jersey without saying a word. When you add those 3 newcomers to the 2 heaters we mentioned at the beginning, you have something real. It's not the second unit that they're used to. This one won't pick defenses apart with mature pick and rolls. They're rougher around the edges and not quite as consistent as the reserves that won a title, but they're also scrappier, hungrier, and more sustainable in the long term, just like the remade starting lineup in front of them. Just so there are no misunderstandings, we don't expect them to go on a championship run this year, and we don't think this team was constructed with that in mind. Across the board, these are guys who need more experience in their roles before they confidently step into a playoff game. But honestly, that's fine. The only player we discuss who's over 30 years old is Derek White. This roster isn't racing against the clock like last year's was. They have plenty of time to grow into themselves and build chemistry with each other. It's a team with a new lease on contention. And it all happened before the latest banner could fade. In just one offseason, after a playoff disappointment and a veteran fire sale, Brad Stevens did it. He reinvented the Celtics and made them younger, faster, and more prepared for the future. Boston fans, you guys are spoiled.
This is a good video. This is a good video, man. noon. I like your style, man. I like your style, boy. I'm subscribing, man. This is a great video, man. And I love it. It's art. This video was art. It wasn't too, it wasn't too forced. It wasn't forcing your way for clicks. You just doing your own thing, and you can see you just enjoying it as you go. Keep it up, bro. Keep it up.